Another philosophical question that you can journal about and ask yourself about. These videos for me are almost like my deep journaling, because sometimes with these philosophical videos where I don't edit them at all, I will literally speak to the camera about a subject and I will literally get spontaneous ideas surrounding that topic while I'm actually speaking. This happened when I was talking about McDonald's, whether the world would actually be a better place if it never had existed or it suddenly evaporated as I'm speaking. And I came up with things like as I was sort of talking about it, and that gave me some kind of fuel. But one question that I have to ask you and myself is, does the sort of pay and salary that one actually receives for doing work and giving their time for something or producing something, providing a service for something, how does fulfillment and contentment fit in with that? Because part of me genuinely thinks that if I was paid 20k a year to sit in a dark room and do nothing for 8 hours a day, I would hate it. I would literally, even if I was like 100k, 8 hours just to sit in a dark room, no weekends, no Christmas or anything, but you're getting like 100k a year every single day to sit in a dark room for 8 hours and do nothing, putting no physical exertion into the task that you have to do. There's no purpose for that job. Maybe they're just like doing random tests or something, some sort of research, science test. That's the purpose of sort of why you're actually doing that work and being paid that level. I think that me, and maybe you as well, would absolutely despise that, because I generally think that it doesn't really matter in a lot of cases the amount of money that you receive for doing a job. I genuinely think it's how fun you find a job, instead of it being boring or monotonous or depressing, then that is the thing that actually matters. When you're on a job that is actually something that's quite invigorating, and you're doing stuff, you're actually putting your hands at work, using your human consciousness and your physical body to actually provide some kind of useful service to people. When you're doing that, you're not thinking, oh, in the last hour I just got paid 20 quid, or oh, in the last hour I just got paid 40 quid, but I was standing here doing nothing, being bored the entire time. When you're bored, you're more likely to think that sort of stuff, and that might sort of just like annoy you and sort of drone you and drag you on, because it's like, oh, another hour, then another 40 quid, and it's just like your life is just driven soullessly by money and financial gain. But when you're actually doing a job that is rewarding, fulfilling, and fun, and you get to improve yourself in that skill, I genuinely, you don't think about the pay. I know that for me, when I'm recording a video, I don't think, 10 years in the future, I'm going to be able to do this, this, and this, and I'll have money for it. I don't think about that, because I enjoy recording, I enjoy editing. It's a fun hobby, it's a fun experience. Yeah, financial dividends may come in the end, but it's not it's not actually for me the main priority anymore. It may have been when I first started, but I can tell you it's not anymore. I genuinely just enjoy doing this a lot. I like editing the science stuff. I like talking my mind about philosophy, because it's a nice way to sort of speak my mind, and it genuinely clears my mind so much. Like the questions that I've asked myself over time just get released when I'm speaking to a camera. It's quite a therapeutic experience in a completely random sort of way. This is personally why I think no matter what you are doing for your career, that's not for me to judge, that's not for me to decide, that's not for me to recommend anything. Whatever you do, the one thing I can recommend is that you surely please try to do something where you won't be bored and it'll be monotonous. Because I had one job where it was pretty boring and pretty monotonous, and there wasn't much to do all the time. And there was another job that I have now, which is a lot funner, and there's a lot more to do. And it's actually a lot more interesting, a lot more fulfilling, rather than being a bit more droning. There were times in the old job where I had a bit of fun, but that was mostly because of the people. Now it's like the actual tasks that I'm doing are genuinely more fun than the old job. So yeah, that's just something I can sort of speak about from personal experience. But whether the pay is similar or it's like completely different, I genuinely just enjoy it so much more, and I don't think about, oh, I'm getting paid this, and this, and this for doing this, and this. It's like, I don't think about that because I'm not bored out of my mind. And I was like that in the old job, like, oh, I just earned this, and this in the last hour. Another thing that I do want to say is that when you are contributing some physical exertion, mental exertion to your life's work, whether it is entrepreneurship or whether it is a career. Try to do something that does sort of fulfill you as a person and your interests and your hobbies and sort of your skill set as well. And try to make sure that you're not bored out your mind, because when you're bored out your mind, you'll compare yourself to other people, and that is also not useful for your mental health. When you compare yourself to other people in this kind of way, you get jealous, and your mental health will suffer as well. But when you're not bored, when you're actually doing something you enjoy, you won't care about what other people are doing, because you are in your own world in a weird sense, doing what you love and what you enjoy, and that is more important than like maybe sacrificing something for a little bit higher pay, but it's a bit more monotonous. Because otherwise, yeah, it's like, you kind of see what I mean. I mean, it's probably a bit of something cliche that I'm saying right now, where it's like, oh, it's not the money that matters, but like the job satisfaction or whatever. I guess people have said that before, but I just wanted to sort of reiterate that in a philosophical sense, especially with the fact of comparison and jealousy, and how your brain literally won't have time to like think about anything and compare yourself to other people, compare the pay you're getting or anything like that, because you are so engrossed and having fun and being passionate towards your life's work. I also recommend doing something that you feel can be your life's work. And I don't think this YouTube channel is necessarily utterly my life's work in a weird sort of way. I think the sciencey things that I'm talking about definitely contributes to my life's work in the research that I've done and that I'm doing, and the things that I've produced for people to learn about. This is just quite a nice therapeutic thing for me to do, and I hope it means that you can ask yourself these philosophical questions as well. There's some guy in the comments, I know, that every single time I ask like a philosophical question, like gives the really obvious answer, and it's actually quite funny. But I don't want you to do that, and I don't want you to actually think about these things in a deeper sense of whatever sort of imagination you can think of. But yeah, ponder on this, think about it, and with that, I recommend subscribing for more content like this, and have a good day.